Straight ahead on the Northwestern News Report.
Rising tensions in the Middle East, how students are responding.
Cats come home. We'll give you an update on homecoming weekend's festivities.
And we'll take you downtown for the 51st Annual Chicago International Film Festival.
All those stories and more.
Coming up on the Northwestern News Report. It's your news right now.
My role here is very important, also not just to be with the pro-Israel groups, but also to expose people who may not know anything about Israel.
Conflicts in the Middle East are escalating this month. What's being done on campus to try to talk about it? That's tonight's top story. Good evening and welcome to the Northwestern News Report. I'm Jesse Kirsch.
And I'm Isa Gutierrez. Thanks for joining us.
So Isa, we are back from the summer and it seems like you did something just a little bit different with your hair there. I really want to know, and I'm sure someone else at home does too, do blondes actually have more fun?
You know, Jesse, I have to say, I don't know what it is, but yeah, kind of.
Okay.
But really, I'm just happy to be back here on desk with you.
I'm just as thrilled to be back, and we have plenty of news to start things off tonight, including a story that's familiar on this campus, but has some recent developments tonight. Tensions in the West Bank are rising as attacks between Israelis and Palestinians continue to increase. According to the Associated Press, 10 Israelis and 46 Palestinians have died over the past month. And here at Northwestern, students are looking for spaces to voice their own concerns. NNN's Orko Manna joins us live in the studio with more. Orko?
Thanks, Jesse. Students across campus are reacting to the recent events in the West Bank, trying to make sense of the uptick in violence. Northwestern Hillel recently announced its hiring of an Israel fellow to engage with students. Dozens of Northwestern students gathered at the Arch on Thursday, taking a photo to show solidarity with Israel. Event organizer Inbal Hirschman says support is important.
We kind of just wanted to commemorate those people that did lose their lives and pay homage to the families that have been affected by it.
And just the day before, the student group Students for Justice in Palestine, or SJP, demonstrated by showing the number of Palestinians killed. In the midst of this conflict, Northwestern Hillel, a hub for Jewish life on campus, is welcoming a new addition to its staff. Simcha Masala is NU Hillel's Israel Fellow. According to Hillel International, she is one of 65 Israel Fellows across North America.
I'm very excited because it's something that I'm very passionate about. It's something that I wanted for a long time.
Masala's role is to engage students with Israeli culture, and she also wants to have discussions at Hillel about the current conflict. The staff here at Northwestern Hillel is hoping to extend those conversations beyond these walls to the larger campus community. But SJP member Michael Abbey is not convinced that conversation will happen.
I don't think it's real, because when two groups are engaged in a dialogue, it's easy to write the oppressed group off as irrational or too radical.
Masala believes collaboration is still possible.
One of my goals for this year is really to build relationship with other students groups. I don't know if SJP are willing to speak, to talk. I'm here for it. Like, in the end, we all have the same goals and we all want the same thing.
The Israel Fellow Program is a joint effort between Hillel International and the Jewish Agency for Israel. Masala is the first person to fill this role at Northwestern since the 2011-2012 academic year. Back to you.
Northwestern University President Morton Shapiro announced Tuesday that alums Patrick G. Ryan and Shirley Welsh Ryan have pledged another $25 million to the university, bringing their total contributions to nearly $200 million.
The Ryans have been incredibly generous. They're the largest benefactors of the university across many areas.
The Ryan family name covers buildings across campus from the football field to the Musical Arts Center. $10 million of this latest $25 million donation is for the creation of new endowed professorships, which allow outside donors to fund specific areas of interest. Currently, fewer than 500 of Northwestern's 3,400 professors are endowed chairs. Professor Owen Youngman, the Knight Chair in Digital Media Strategy, says he believes this might be the Ryan family's greatest legacy.
This may be the most important gift of all the ones they've made because of its contribution to the overall intellectual heft of the university.
The purpose of the remaining $15 million of the donation will be determined at a later date.
The Ryans aren't the only ones giving back. This week, Northwestern donated $1 million to the city of Evanston. The donation is part of a $5 million gift announced last spring. Half of this year's contribution will go to the Evanston Fire Department's ambulance service program. Then outreach programs for at-risk youth and job training programs will receive the rest of the funding. More will go towards upgrades for Sheridan Road.
Big part of it, I think half of it, is actually going to improvements for Sheridan Road. Part of it too that's great, I think, is it's going to include bike lanes on Sheridan as part of that project.
The work on Sheridan Road is slated to begin in 2016 and be completed by 2017.
Coming up, NNN's Grace Choi will be here to tell us how the Cats did homecoming weekend.
And what it means for the rest of the season.
I'm Bria Kalpin, and coming up, I'll have your 5-day weather forecast.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
Why hang around waiting for opportunity to knock when instead you can track opportunity down and knock on its door? You might ask, what's the best way to identify where opportunity lives? Here's a hint. Its door is colored purple. Northwestern University. Opportunity awaits your knock.
Why spend your entire life looking for some on-ramp to the road to opportunity when there's already a well-traveled path? So you may be wondering, what does that path look like? Is it paved with gold? Well, here's a hint. It's actually paved with purple. Northwestern University. Your road starts here.
Wednesday, temperatures will be heating up during the day to 76 degrees and cooling down to 53 with evening showers. Thursday, we'll see more moderate temperatures and some sun with a high of 60 degrees and a low of 47. As the weekend rolls in on Friday, the clouds will roll in too with a high of 63 and a low of 56. Don't let the daytime showers get you down because the heat will push on through Saturday with a high of 66 and a low of 48. As you recover from your weekend, don't forget a light jacket as temperatures will drop to a high of 57 and a low of 45 with partly cloudy skies on Sunday. This has been Bria Kalpin with your 5-day weather forecast.
Campus came alive last week as alums and current students alike gathered to celebrate homecoming.
Cats came together for food, giveaways, movie screenings, and even a comedy show.
Programming also included the traditional homecoming parade down Sheridan Road Friday night, after which seniors in Weinberg, Danny Callison and Ihama Nkemre were crowned Northwestern's newest Royals.
But the festivities really began the weekend before on Deering Meadow, where Wildcats gathered to raise money for charity by making a mess. Kicking off the week-long celebration, students took over Deering Meadow 2 Sundays ago for Color Roar, an annual event that sparks a bit of a fight for a great cause. For $7, students got a homecoming t-shirt and a purple cup with the Northwestern fight song on it. Using cups full of paint, students turned those shirts from white to rainbow. Homecoming brought 400 pounds of the paint to Deering Meadow, with 100 pounds, of course, being purple.
It's like a really fun thing because you see all these colors in the air and everyone's just having a fun time. And even if you don't know people are blasting you with colors.
The Color Roar raised over $1,000, which will go towards the Summer Internship Grant Program, directly benefiting Northwestern students with unpaid internships. So as you can see, there was a lot of energy going into the homecoming football game. Joining us tonight with sports is our own Grace Choi.
Thanks for having me tonight. You know, this homecoming weekend was definitely packed with a lot of sports, some games more disappointing than others. Northwestern commemorated the 1995-96 team that went to the Rose Bowl this season. Marks the 20th anniversary of Northwestern's trip to Pasadena. The sentimental mood really kicked in as Northwestern played catch-up the whole game. The Wildcats entered a homecoming after a scoreless loss to Michigan the week before, but Iowa quickly took the lead. Akram Wadley fights around Northwestern defense as he runs for a touchdown in the second half to put the Hawks up 16-0. However, redshirt freshman Clayton Thorson responds in the second quarter. He looks for Christian Jones and touchdown. Northwestern finally breaks their scoreless streak, but the second half is all Hawks. Iowa's Josie Jewell sacks Clayton Thorson, and the ball is loose and recovered by Iowa's Parker Hesse on the Northwestern's 40-yard line, and the Hawks aren't done. 5 minutes into the fourth quarter, quarterback Tyler Wiegers lobs one to Derek Mitchell, who rushes 13 yards into the end zone for Iowa's final touchdown of the game. They take it 40-10. It's been a rough couple weeks for the Cats, and they are looking to get back on track as they head to Lincoln, Nebraska this weekend to play the Cornhuskers.
Grace, it seems like there's been a very different team on the field the past couple weeks than to start the season for the Wildcats. Do you think it's been an energy issue, or is there something else that has developed?
You know what? They were once ranked 13th in the nation, and right now they're not even ranked in the AP or coaches polls. And as Kendrick Lamar would say, it's both physical and mental, and you really can't sugarcoat it. You know, I'm sure after having a strong 5-game winning streak this season and now losing 2 games in a row, their morale is low. And, you know, Fitz says that they are not coming out flat, and they really just need to work on their executing, their fundamental skills, and really minimize their turnovers.
And as you mentioned earlier, Fitz's team is on the road at Nebraska this week. What do the Cats need to do to turn things around in that game?
You know what? Northwestern has won only 1 of 4 games against the Cornhuskers, and 3 of those 4 games have been decided by only 3 or less points. So every detail counts. They have to really focus on execution, and you know, it's going to be a really exciting game because every little detail is going to count, and it's just going to be close, and it's going to be an exciting game this weekend.
Well, the odds certainly don't seem to be in the Wildcats' favor on that one, but what about looking beyond this weekend? Northwestern is 1 win away from bowl eligibility. How do you see the rest of their season shaping up? Can they scratch out a couple more wins?
Absolutely. I think they really have to win their game against Purdue. Purdue has 5 straight losses, and it's one that if Northwestern loses, it's going to be a real downer. And we also play Illinois for Thanksgiving weekend in Soldier Field, so that'll be a great game to get both Northwestern and Illinois fans out. And you know, you never know what the Northwestern team is going to do against Penn State because the Cats really did stun them last year, so that will also be a fun game to see during family weekend.
All right, well, thanks for all the insights, Grace. But it sounds like you have similar news on the volleyball front. A couple of highlights, right?
Absolutely. There were some ups and downs this game, and they did have a shaky weekend at home, but the women's volleyball team did have a couple games this homecoming weekend. They both hosted the Cornhuskers and Hawkeyes at the Welsh Ryan Arena. Simone Abbott led all Cats with the 9 kills. Here she earns a point, but Nebraska jumps ahead to an early first set lead. Michaela Fecke attacking NU's blockers all day. The Cats unable to come up with an answer as she records 9 kills. Fecke would also score 5 service aces, and on match point, Katie Fien hits the game winner, and the Cornhuskers win in straight sets. Cats looking to rebound against Iowa on Sunday with Sophia Lavin with a bunch of big kills. Her 12 tied a game high as Northwestern had 57 kills to Iowa's 38. But the Hawkeyes mount a comeback in the second set, taking it by a score of 25-22. However, Northwestern gets things back on track. You see Taylor Tashima right here with a winner, and then Maddie Slater ends it on a match point. Northwestern wins in 4 sets for their 12th win of the season. The volleyball team is 4-4 this season in Big Ten matches. Let's see if their next game against Purdue edges them over the 500 mark.
Thanks for coming on the show tonight, Grace. For more on how the Cats did this week, tune in Thursday for Sports Night at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. When we come back, we'll tell you how Noah Starr is doing as ASG president and what we might expect in the coming year.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Go Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, spread for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
Why hang around waiting for opportunity to knock when instead you can track opportunity down and knock on its door? You might ask, what's the best way to identify where opportunity lives? Here's a hint. Its door is colored purple. Northwestern University. Opportunity awaits your knock.
Why spend your entire life looking for some on-ramp to the road to opportunity when there's already a well-traveled path? So you may be wondering, what does that path look like? Is it paved with gold? Well, here's a hint. It's actually paved with purple. Northwestern University. Your road starts here.
Associated Student Government began work on its new 100-day plan last week. Committing to greater transparency, ASG announced a three-pronged focus for fall quarter on campus health, accessible student cultures, and student resources. Student Body President Noah Starr says he hopes the plan will enable ASG to continue some of the work from last year's administration, while also narrowing down the focus to specific areas of action. By sending out the plan twice a quarter, Starr hopes to keep students actively involved in the legislative process, building on his campaign promise to listen, then lead.
I also think that we're going to have some big things that we have accomplished. I'm really hoping that this U.S. inequalities gets into place so that we have significant headway to share with the student body. I'm hoping that we're going to have some bigger sustainability measures to show to students, and I'm hoping we're going to make inroads on a culture of self-care, both in the academic sense and the student life sense.
Starr also noted that he hopes to make internal improvements to ASG's cohesion and morale as a way to streamline the student legislative process.
We wanted to know what you think about ASG and what you think you should get attention from for this year. That's this week's topic for Rock Talk.
I would love to see ASG crack down on the application process for clubs and other activities so that more students can get involved on campus.
I think ASG should invest more in mental health services. I mean, they just got a male staffer for CAPS, but that's not enough. A lot of students, particularly around like midterms or finals week, complain on things like Yik Yak and Facebook on how our mental health services is really lacking. So I guess I'm just waiting for them to step up their game and make sure that their students are healthy, both physically and mentally.
I think that would be great is more Wi-Fi outside, kind of like there is on the Lakeville. So like doing stuff for Dance Marathon would be great if we could bump some tunes out here as well. Other than the mass amount of Taylor Swift I already have on my laptop, so that'd be great.
What I want the student government to do is probably like regulate like some of the stuff posted on the floor here, because like a lot of them are inappropriate or kind of irrelevant.
Hey, if you have an idea for a future Rock Talk topic, tweet at us at @NNN_news.
And tonight we have NNN's very own political director, Jamie Lovegrove, here with us to talk more about ASG's new initiatives. Jamie, tell us a little bit more about this new 100-day plan.
Sure. Well, the first focus that they are going to be focusing on here is campus health. That is going to mean that they're going to be instituting this new program called Take Time, which is sort of self-care program. And they're also going to be revisiting the McCormick credit requirements to see if a credit reduction could improve mental health issues among engineering students. The second main category that they're focusing on is campus resources. So that's going to include some brainstorms from students and surveys to determine exactly what the students want, as we were just doing tonight on Rock Talk. And the third category that they are going to be looking at is inclusive campus cultures. That's going to primarily be focused on continuing the movement from last year to institute a U.S. inequalities requirement in Weinberg.
And you know, Jamie, past ASG administrations have struggled to get students engaged with their initiatives. How does NOAA plan to address that problem?
Sure. Well, it's a problem that student governments across the country struggle with. It's hard to get college students engaged. Something that NOAA is looking at, he's been in ASG for a long time now. He's noticed that whenever ASG is interacting with the student body, they're always asking for something. They're asking, could you vote for the ASG president? Could you fill out this survey? He wants to make sure that the interactions between the students and ASG are a little more varied, that they are keeping them updated on exactly what they're doing, and that the reputation of ASG can change, and as a result, the interaction between students and their student government can change too.
And I understand that there have been some internal changes in ASG recently too. What's going on there?
That's right. Well, Noah Winston, who is a senior, he was the speaker of ASG. He actually dropped out of Northwestern to move to LA to become the CEO of a new esports franchise. That's a whole different story, but it creates an opening in ASG. Matt Clarkston, who's the parliamentarian, he's stepping in currently as the interim speaker. He says he's planning on running for speaker, and that race will be tomorrow night. At that point, there might be an opening for parliamentarians, so they'll have to get someone in there as well. So some shakeups going on, but everything's still sailing smoothly.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Jamie, for being on with us.
Thanks for having me.
After the break, we'll tell you why one Northwestern cornerback decided to hang up his cleats and how he's making the most of it.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, spread for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
With injuries to a couple of key members of its secondary, the Northwestern football team is in need of an extra man, but someone they used to rely on is no longer available. NNN's Axel Boada has more for us tonight. Axel?
Thanks, Jesse. For many athletes, leaving the football field behind is not easy, yet for one former Wildcat, it's allowed him to follow his true path. Dwight White spent every Saturday on the football field for Northwestern until a rare health condition forced him to retire.
I mean, definitely when I looked into my mother's eyes and saw, how much my decision was going to be affecting her and other people in my family, I thought it would be best to, just kind of put the past down.
About a year ago, Dwight found out he was born with only one kidney and retired just before the start of the season, a decision that impacted his teammate and close friend Trevion Henry.
When it was taken away from him, it was tough for me as well, because I knew that he was losing a part of his life that's been a part of him for so long. It was hard seeing him go through that period.
But losing the game meant Dwight could pursue his other passion, art.
It just really pops. Coming through a glass surface, I think it gives a different effect than one would on a regular canvas. Over time, I kind of developed my own style, own techniques.
And though Trevion and Terrence Brown were two of the first to learn of Dwight's passion, the two were caught a bit off guard.
I've been around a lot of football players and you don't really see them too much engaged in art. It was a bit shocking, but it was also shocking how good he was.
When we're younger, we don't really realize that we're all multifaceted individuals. When we saw the talent, we were like, wow, like this dude has something serious.
Dwight misses football, but he still found ways to make an impact on the team. He now creates game day graphics and other artwork for the NU athletic department.
It was just really interesting for me to just have another opportunity to figure out my other interests and my other talents. It just opened up a lot of different doors for me.
Dwight White is remembered on the field every Saturday. Senior safety Trevion Henry switched his jersey number from 10 to 2 this season in honor of his best friend.
A new pizzeria just steps away from campus attracts students and Evanston locals alike. 800 Degrees Pizzeria is the first of the chain to open in the Midwest. Customers can order specialty or customized pizzas. It also offers gelato, salads, drinks, and various appetizers. 800 Degrees competes with Blaze Pizza, which has a similar organization and is located just a block away. Shelby Tropio says the new pizzeria offers something unique.
I'm looking forward to exploring their options. They have what seems to be a wider variety than Blaze, and I also am really looking forward to trying the gelato.
800 Degrees is located on Church Street and is open from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. daily.
Well, after the break, we'll tell you what makes one film festival so special and what it brings to the Windy City each and every year.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
It's lights, camera, action downtown, where the 51st annual Chicago International Film Festival is taking place. NNN's Margaret Korn and Kara Stevick met up with festival programmers and film directors to find out what makes this festival and art form so special to the Chicagoland area.
Welcome to the 51st annual Chicago International Film Festival. Here, film experts and enthusiasts alike gather to share a love of the art.
One thing that's great about films is that they're a kind of succinct storytelling method that you can share with other people.
Audiences also get access to directors and free special topic panels. Through this kind of interesting programming, the festival is able to attract wide audiences.
I think there's still a magic and drama and romance to coming to the movies.
It is the festival's broad reach that makes the experience so valuable for first-time directors and so difficult to program from an administrative perspective.
I think Chicago is really smart, our audiences are really smart, and they kind of demand in the best way possible quality.
It is this aspect of Chicago culture that prompts over 4,000 submissions to the festival each year.
Our art community is more underground and it's more low-key, and I think that this kind of suits that. Where we're not headlining, huge films. It's a lot of indie films and passion projects, which I think is good that we're giving exposure to.
Margaret Korn and Kara Stevick, Northwestern News Network.
The Chicago International Film Festival will run through October 29th and is located at the AMC River East Theater.
All right, Jesse, now it's time to go watch the Cubs.
Absolutely. Hey, Chicago, what do you say?
That's all we have for tonight. I'm Issa Gutierrez.
Close enough. And I'm Jesse Kirsch. Thanks for watching. Have a great night. Okay.